Superior Court of Fulton County is now in session. The Honorable Chief Judge Ural Glanville presiding. Court called to order.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated.
Yeah, still can.
Okay, I got you. I see. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. You too. All right.
Okay. Hi, good morning, council's interested parties. We're back on the record in the matter of the state of Georgia versus Khalif Adams et al. 22 SC 183572. Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Boston, Mr. Schardt, good morning, gentlemen. Mr. Williams, Mr. Steele, Mr. Adams, and Ms. Renard, good morning. All right, Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Apt, good morning, sir. Good morning. All right. Mr. Huey and Mr. Matthews, Jr. and Sr., good morning, gentlemen. All right, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Harvey, Ms. Westmoreland, and Mr. Garner. Good morning, councils. And then Mr. Ryan and Misty Williams, good morning. All right, ladies from the state, Ms. Hilton and Ms. Love, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. So I think we're all our jurors here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Before I go ahead and do that, anything I need to be made aware of, councils?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning, Police Officer Sergeant Matthews on behalf of Mr. Marquavius. Your Honor, we currently have Officer Henry on.
He's coming back
Yes,
from yesterday.
yeah, he's coming back from yesterday, Your Honor. So I'm not, Mr. Huey, as the court is aware, entered a no-low contingent for a reduced offense. I do have a certified copy of it. I'll make a decision on whether or not I want to introduce that as evidence or not. I did provide that to our colleagues across the belt. And I just want to bring this to the court's attention. I don't know if they have an objection to it or not, but it is certified and self-authenticating, and it's obviously a court record or document.
All right. Okay.
Your Honor, and we were just checking into whether or not that is a self-serving matter. It is a self-authenticating document, so that is not a
Not
matter.
self-serving, but self-authenticated.
It is self-authenticating. That is not the basis of the objection if there is one to be made.
All right.
So what we are looking into, I've already advised Mr. Matthews, but in the event that he does choose to introduce it, we will interpose the objection at the appropriate time, but we're looking into that matter.
All right, madam. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. And we'll summon our jurors, please.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is Mr. Henry outside?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Just get him on the ready, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
All jurors present accountable.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, have a seat. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. All right, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to finish with Officer Henry here, and then once we finish, we'll see where the day leads us at this point in time. So at this point, Ms. Hilton or Ms. Love, you may resume your examination at this point in time. I just remind Officer Henry, you're still under oath, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, ma'am.
You good?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think where we left off yesterday is, you had retrieved the gun, you picked up, and you had taken off following after the individual who ran.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And once you ended up, apprehending him, did you get a name for the individual?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the name that you used?
Marquavius, Huey.
And did he have a date of birth?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you remember what his date of birth is?
Do you mind if I look at my paperwork to confirm his date of birth?
I'm gonna give you another copy.
If I can take a look at it.
Sure.
You're gonna mark that as the state's exhibit of identification?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's going to mark it as 169R.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Permission to approach, Your Honor?
You may, madam.
I'm going to show you what's going to mark for identification purposes 169R. Do you firstly recognize 169R?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is 169R? Is that your police report?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I have it here with me. That was all accident.
Yes, but I have to give you the copy that the defense counsel has seen.
Oh, okay.
Look at section 169R, but I have a fresh memory as to the date of birth of Mr. Marquavius, who was arrested back in May of 2018.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, did it refresh your memory?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the date of birth?
3/10/1996.
And what type of gun did you recover?
Glock 19, 9mm.
A black Glock 19?
It was like it was a black. I think it had a little bit of silver on it.
I'm sorry?
I think it's black and silver, but most of it is black.
You may.
Yes, sir. I'm going to show you what's been marked and just shown to defense counsel State's Exhibit 155M. Tell me if you recognize State's Exhibit 155M.
I mean, open it.
Yes.
Can you turn it over? Or
Do you need to go?
no? Yes, ma'am.
How do you recognize Exhibit 155M?
By the serial number.
And what's the serial number?
Sam Yankee Nancy 195.
Slow it down. Say that again one more time.
So it'll be Sam Yankee Nancy 195.
Is that SYN 195?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And also, is there any other identifying information on any tag that identifies that this is the gun that you recovered back in May of 2018?
Yeah, so it's black and silver. Yes, that's the weapon.
Okay. And does this red tag identify the item that you recovered back in May of 2018?
Yeah, this other tag that we tagged being stolen.
Okay. And does this have your unit number on there as you are the person that recovered this item back in May of 2018?
My unit number is not on the tag.
Where it says recovered by,
Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry.
okay, so does it say
Yes.
recovered by your unit
Yes,
number?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And what was your unit number, babe?
7062.
And you're at this time, and does it appear to have been destroyed in any way? Does it appear to be the weapon you recovered?
No, it's yes, it's in workable condition.
You're at this time, say like Tender States Exhibit 155M into evidence.
Any objection to states 155M?
No.
All right, states 155M is admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. And again, do you recall where this gun was stolen out of?
It was stolen out of Winder Police Department.
Now, in preparation for your testimony, have you had the opportunity to refresh your memory as to the image of the person that you arrested on May 25th, 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 168M. No. This is how you know.
Your Honor, we approach this briefly.
Yes. Please talk radio.
After receiving the weapon, did you place it into evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You want some court indulgence?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, as it relates to this particular incident on May of 2018, did you learn of anyone being shot in this incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you know, are you aware how many people in the business were shot?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
3.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was there anyone, were those individuals initially on May 25th, 2018, able to tell a law enforcement officer who shot them?
One objection, hearsay, and confrontation clause.
No. I'm gonna sustain the question as of right now. It's the form. You need to lay a little more foundation now.
Back on May of 2018, on the day that this happened, was there anyone ever identified as shooting those individuals? Back on that particular day?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Sure. Back in May 25th, 2018, was anyone ever identified on May 25th, 2018 as to shooting those individuals?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Now, in working in Zone 6, are you familiar with an apartment complex called Trestle Tree Apartments?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is Trestle Tree Apartments located?
I'm not sure of the correct address, but I think it's South United, but I'm not sure of the address. I think 955, but United, but I'm not sure of the correct address over there.
It's off United Street?
It's off United.
Okay. And there's United right off of Main Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's that?
I think the correct address is 956 Trestle Tree.
956 Trestle Tree.
Trestle Tree.
All right, but that is within Zone 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that in or around or near Grand Park?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Cross.
Thank you. One second.
Officer Henry.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Careton Matthews here. I represent Mr. Marquavius Huey. Let's begin with a couple of things. Mr. Officer Henry, you are aware that the handgun that was reported stolen that you just identified, it was actually reported stolen on August 8th, 2015, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
By a resident of Winder, Georgia, by the name of Jeremy Smith, according to your investigation, correct? Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know that Winder, Georgia is at least about an hour from Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
I'm not 100% sure how far that is.
Okay. And you are aware that August 8th, 2015 would have been approximately 3 years prior to the date of this May 25th, 2018 incident that you're testifying to here today, correct?
I would assume yes, sir.
Okay. And when you were developing your investigation into the handgun that you recovered, you understand that that Jeremy Smith stated that the gun was removed from his truck and that there was no forced entry and that it happened in Winder, Georgia, correct?
I'm not 100% sure. I would have to look over his reports.
Okay, and you have it with you?
No, that would be once I confirm the weapon is stolen out of Winder. I don't have that report. We don't get that report.
The firearm, Your Honor, may I have? Permission to approach, Your Honor.
Oh, you may, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so Officer Henry, you just identified this firearm, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this is the firearm that you recovered, correct?
Yes, sir.
And as we permission to publish, Your Honor, the firearm. Hold it up.
Yeah, it's already been admitted, but you're welcome to handle said firearm as long as you handle it correctly.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Officer Henry, you identified this firearm, it's unloaded, there's no magazine in the chamber, so it's not capable of doing any harm to anyone at this moment, correct?
Correct. I don't know. I have to check it physically.
Okay.
But
Now,
I'm assuming it's clear.
would you like to check it and look at it? Okay, thank you. So it's in a safe position, correct?
Just to my knowledge, yes.
Okay. Now, this particular firearm, as we hold it and handle it here today, this firearm has a serial number on it, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you identified the serial number as SYN195, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it has a serial number on one location, and it also has the name of the firearm, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it has the style of the firearm, the model, correct?
Yes, sir.
And nothing about this particular firearm, as we have it here today in 2023, we recovered it in May 25th, 2018. The serial number has not been filed down, correct?
Yes.
Hasn't been damaged or altered in any way, correct?
Yes.
And Officer Henry, as we stand here today and have this conversation, there's nothing about this firearm that when you look at it and hold it, that you can tell that it's stolen, correct?
Yes. By the serial number. If I can see the serial number, that's when it confirms it's been stolen.
Right.
So if I'm looking at the serial number and there's a serial number on it, that means, so yes, it is.
So if I'm just sitting here, right, and I have this gun in my possession, and I don't put the serial number into your police database, and I have this weapon in my hand, I don't know it's stolen, do I?
No.
And no one in this courtroom would know that it's stolen, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
I sustain the objection.
Officer Henry, how long did you say you've been a police officer?
That was 6 years, sir.
Over 6 years. And in the 6 years that you've been a police officer, how long or how many police reports would you say you've written?
I don't know, maybe over 3,000. I don't know. I'm not sure, about over 3,000.
Okay, so at least over 3,000 reports you've written. And the reason you write these reports, Officer Henry, is that you want to memorialize the things that occurred during your investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's because it's important, right?
Yes, sir.
You want to write truthful reports, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were trained to write these reports, right?
Yes, sir.
And they're important because a lot of times the prosecution will rely on the type of report and the investigation that you've done, right?
Yes, sir.
And they want to have that report so that they can be able to accurately be able to present a case, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you wrote a report in this case, correct?
I did.
And
Yes, sir.
And the report that you wrote, you've already identified that report, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that report that you wrote during the course of this investigation is 2 pages, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And let's talk about a couple of things. There was this 911 call, a few 911 calls that were made, right?
Yes, sir.
And in the 911 calls that were made, as part of your investigation, you'll go back and listen to those 911 calls at some point, right?
If I go back and listen to it?
Yeah, if you're handling the case and you are putting together your investigation, there may be times when you might go back and pull the 911 call to get more information as part of your investigation, correct?
No.
Okay, so you don't look at the 911 calls?
I look at it at first. I can't see it. I hear it over the radio.
Okay.
When it's being dispatched.
Okay, so the 911 call that you hear over the radio that's being dispatched, you are aware that there were no physical descriptions of the person or persons that were involved in this shooting, correct?
No, that's not true.
Okay, what was the physical descriptions that were given?
The description that was given was the original call came up as shots fired in the park.
Okay,
And radio gave out a description of individuals.
and what was the descriptions that you heard come through dispatch that would have been part of the 911 calls, right?
A black male wearing all hoodie, so possibly a suspect.
A black male wearing all
All black,
Okay,
have hoodie on.
okay. So that was the one, so it was one description of one person?
That's one of the suspects.
Okay. Did you hear any other descriptions of any other suspects?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what were the descriptions that you heard on the 911 call
Same
from the
thing.
dispatch?
Same, all wearing the same thing.
So there were multiple, so let me make sure I'm clear. The 911 call comes in, there are multiple calls, and those calls all stated that there were multiple black males wearing the same thing. Is that your testimony?
Yes, the call came up as black male wearing all black with a hoodie,
And that would
possibly the suspect.
And that would possibly a suspect?
Yes.
Got you. And those are calls that would have been on a 911 call, correct?
Yes, sir.
Those have been citizens and people in the community that would have called into 911 and said, hey, this is what I saw, this is what I heard, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, just so that we're clear, this report that you've prepared and the investigation that you conducted, there were no eyewitnesses who identified Huey as being involved in a shooting, correct?
No.
And as a matter of fact, Huey has never been interviewed by any detective regarding the shooting, correct?
Speculation, Your Honor.
Well, he may have knowledge.
Well, let me see what he says.
Can I rephrase the question?
Rephrase.
Thank you.
Stands to form.
Okay. Officer Huey, Officer Henry, are you aware of any investigation by yourself or any other law enforcement personnel who has ever interviewed Mr. Huey for a shooting on May 25th, 2018 at that Grant Park?
No, I'm not aware of. I'm the only one I could speak of for myself. I don't know if any other investigator officer
Okay.
interviewed Mr. Huey.
And you certainly did not, correct?
I take him in custody.
You didn't interview him about a shooting, correct?
No.
Okay. And no victim in a shooting on May 25th, 2018 ever presented themselves to you for you to engage them in a photographic lineup process, correct?
No.
May 25th, 2018, to this day now, December 7th, 2023, no alleged victim has come forward to you and said that Mr. Huey shot them on May 25th, 2018, correct?
No.
That two-page report that you prepared, Officer Henry, and that firearm that we just got through examining, nowhere in your report is that firearm that we got through examining that you indicated that when you recovered the firearm, that it was warm, correct?
But it was what?
Warm, W-A-R-M, warm, hot, warm.
No.
Right, because when you fire a weapon, Officer Henry, it will typically, after it's fired, the muzzle will be warm, correct?
It also depends, I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, you testified that there were 3 people out there in this particular incident that were shot, correct?
To my knowledge, 3 persons, that's what the 911 call, so 3 persons got shot inside the park.
Okay, and you did not go to the area of this alleged shooting or areas and recover any shell casings from any of this particular incident, correct?
Me personally, no.
Okay. And in your report, the report that you prepared, if shell casings were found or ever located, you would have supplemented your report to indicate the same, correct?
I wasn't on scene where the actual shooting happened.
Okay. And to your knowledge, you don't know of any shell casings that have ever been recovered from this location matching up to a firearm that you brought before the court, correct?
All I knew is shell casing were recovered inside the park.
I didn't hear you.
All I knew is shell casing recovers inside the park.
And did you document that in any report that you've prepared?
I'm assuming the primary officer for that incident, I'm sure he did.
And that would be speculation on your part, correct?
It's not speculation. The officer would document whatever he found on the scene.
Right, but you don't have any report that is in your possession?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay. Now, in that 2-page report that you prepared, Officer Henry, that you've done over 3,000 during the course of your career at this point, you did not charge Mr. Huey with any type of gang violation, correct?
No, sir.
You did not, in your report, indicate anything about referring this case to the APD gang unit, correct?
No, sir.
You did not indicate in your report or any supplemental report subsequent to May 25th, 2018, that Mr. Huey was in possession of any type of gang paraphernalia, correct?
No, sir.
That he had on gang paraphernalia, correct?
No, sir.
Now, in your report, now when you're preparing your report, and we've already talked about the fact that it's important and you want it to be accurate, correct?
Yes, sir.
You indicated in your report that you actually apprehended Mr. Huey at 21:42 hours, which would be 9:42, correct?
No.
Okay. Let me show you.
It would be 8. So if that's,
21:42?
is it 21 or 20? Is it?
21:42. What time? 2142?
That's the report. That's the report you're looking at. 20. 1.
Officer Henry,
Yes, sir.
you testified that you apprehended Mr. Huey and recovered this firearm, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you prepared a report that indicated the time in which you apprehended Mr. Henry and recovered the firearm in your report, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I want to show, may I approach this witness, Your Honor?
You may, sir.
Thank you. And that's the one you brought, right?
Oh, that's not mine. That's,
Okay. That's the one that the government provided, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay, let's look at that one. Okay. This is your report, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the one that you prepared, right?
Okay.
And when you prepared that report, you reviewed it before you
Oh, yeah.
uploaded it, correct?
Okay.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right there where it says 2142, where it says evidence found, May 20, hold, let me get it right now. May 25th, 2018, right?
Yes, sir.
2142, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what time is 2142?
Oh, you're asking, 9:42?
Okay, and that's the time that you indicated in your report that you apprehended and recovered items off of Mr. Huey, correct?
Yes.
You indicated you recovered an iPhone 7, right?
Yes.
At 2142, correct?
Yes, yes,
And you indicated that you recovered a firearm, correct?
yes.
At 2142, correct?
Yes.
And down in your incident narrative, you indicated that it was on May 25th at 20:01 that you were dispatched, correct?
Yes.
So that I'm clear on this matter, obviously, the calls started coming in around 8 o'clock, right?
Yes.
But you did not actually make contact with Mr. Huey until 9:42, when you recovered the items and the weapon, correct?
No, so the reason why it's for due from 9:42, that's the time, maybe I'm talking to the judge at that time, so I actually get the time from 911.
So let me make sure I'm clear. Your testimony is that you're talking to the judge?
At that time, so I get the correct time.
Okay. Is there anywhere in your report, Officer Henry, that you document that I spoke to the judge?
In my report?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Now, you also indicated in your report that you arrested Mr. Huey at 451 Cherokee Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
Yes.
And 451 Cherokee Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia, that's about maybe a couple hundred yards from the Grant Park Rec Center?
I'm not sure.
Close, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's very close.
Right. And if the calls started coming out at 8 o'clock, right?
Yes.
And you making contact with Mr. Huey in your report at 2142, that'll be over an hour and a half more from the time that the shooting incident took place, right?
Not necessary because it was a park full of people.
It was a park full of people.
And they were running all over.
There are a lot of people out there that particular day, correct?
Yes, I'm assuming, yeah.
And-
Park was full.
And they're shooting basketball, right?
That's what the call came about.
And with respect to these particular charges that you actually charged Mr. Huey with, you charged him with theft by receiving of a stolen handgun, right?
Yes, sir.
And you charged him, and you charged him with several other misdemeanor offenses, correct?
Yes, sir.
You charged him with various offenses that were of a misdemeanor variety. And you are aware that Mr.
Objection, Your Honor.
Basis.
I believe he's going to get into something that is not proper. And we need to approach it.
All right, well, go ahead and let's come on up. Come on.
Okay.
Fox Talk Radio. Hold on. Take a bit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, sir.
Officer Henry, I just want to be very clear. You did not do any GSR, gunshot residue testing of any sort on Mr. Huey, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't do any GSR or any type of testing whatsoever on the firearm that you recovered from Mr. Huey, correct?
Me personally, no.
And you're trained to understand what GSR does and how it impacts the case, correct?
Yeah, once we submitted, they tested it. I don't.
And you certainly have you have no evidence whatsoever that any shell casing that you say may or may not have been located at this basketball court matched up to any firearm that you recovered from Mr. Huey, correct?
Ask the question one more time.
Sure. You have no scientific evidence that any shell casing that you or your team may or may not have found at the basketball court matched up to any firearm that this jury has looked at this morning?
In my opinion, no.
And just so that we're clear, the case that we're here talking about today was from May 25th, 2018, over 5 years ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had no idea that you would be testifying here today, December 7th, 2023, about a theft by receiving of a handgun case in a RICO trial.
Objection, relevant, Your Honor.
I sustain the objection.
That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right, Mr. Abt. Yeah, I'll get to you, Mr. Schardt.
Good morning, Officer Henry.
Good morning.
My name is Jay Apt. Do you know this man, Monty Kendrick?
No, I don't.
Do you have any information or knowledge related to him?
No, I don't.
Thank you. No other questions.
All right, Mr. Schardt.
Officer Henry. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Max Schardt. I represent Shannon Stillwell. And before I insert myself into this issue, this case that you're testifying about today does not involve Shannon Stillwell, correct?
Who you representing?
In Stillwell. It does not involve Shannon Stillwell, this incident at Grant Park in 2018.
I don't even know.
Well, you know,
Form of the question.
I'm gonna overrule that objection. All right, go ahead.
It does not involve Shannon Stillwell.
I don't know who's that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. All right, but I want to make sure I'm clear as Mr. Stillwell's attorney. You've been testifying about a shooting for several hours now, correct?
I'm testifying of what a shooting several
Yes.
hours ago, several hours now.
Yes, yesterday and today.
Yes.
Okay. And you have no ballistic evidence at all. Ballistics are what links a shell casing on a crime scene to a particular gun, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you have no ballistic evidence on this case, this shooting, that links that shooting to Mr. Huey, correct?
No.
Okay, and you have no gunshot residue evidence to suggest that there was any gunshot residue on
Asked
Mr.
and
Huey.
answered. Asked and answered. Move on.
And to your knowledge, you never charged Mr. Huey with any shooting, correct?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, redirect, if anything.
Officer Henry, let me ask you this. While the shooting took place, was your responsibility arresting him for theft by receiving stolen property?
Ask the question one more time.
Sure. In this case, while the shooting did take place, what was your responsibility? What did you arrest Mr. Huey for?
I was arrested for stolen gun and obstruction and concealing a weapon.
Okay, so that's what you were brought here to testify about, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I sustain the question as to form.
Was that what you were brought here to testify about?
To my knowledge, yes, ma'am.
So theft by receiving stolen property,
Yes, ma'am.
carrying concealed weapon,
Yes, ma'am.
and obstruction,
And reckless conduct.
and reckless conduct.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's first talk about the obstruction. Why did you arrest him for obstruction?
I arrested him for obstruction because I stepped out my patrol vehicle and trying to talk to him. I stepped out my patrol vehicle and trying to talk to him. And when I trying to talk to him, he took off running, so that's obstruction from law enforcement officer.
Okay, so when you tried to speak with him, he took off running.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. At that he took off running, what did you say to him?
I say, I'm not the police. Officer Raymond, let me talk to you for a second.
And he just took off running?
Just took off.
Well, no, I'll overrule the objection.
And he just took off running?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And as he was running, what happened?
While he was running, he put maybe,
Your Honor,
Hold on one second.
while he took off,
Hold on. I'm gonna sustain the objection.
was a gun thrown by the person you saw take off running?
yes,
And is that the gun that you saw earlier today?
yes, ma'am.
And it was at Marquavius Huey who threw that gun?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, there was some questioning about time on cross-examination.
Yes, ma'am.
When you responded to the scene, was that around 8:01 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you arrived, did you immediately see Mr. Huey, or did some time pass before you saw Mr. Huey?
As I remember, we driving around looking for the description of the individual. Let's say shooting, say it could have been the time of when the call actually dispatched. But that's the time, 20:01, that's the time of the call was dispatched. So I may get there 10 minutes, 15 minutes after. I can't recall what time I arrived there.
And were you driving around looking for the individuals for a period of time?
Yeah, we were looking for suspects.
And in that period of time, could the gun have cooled down in the period of time when you're looking for the subject?
That's affirmative.
That's affirmative. I mean, that's yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, as it relates to Mr. Huey, in the course of prepping for examination today, did you try to look up a picture for you to remember who Marquavius Huey was?
Yes, I did.
Okay. The picture that you looked at, do you recall the date of the picture that you looked at?
The date of the picture was
Objection relevance?
Your Honor, it's going to become relevant given our.
Please. It's not relevant right now, Judge.
That's relevant. I'll overrule the objection.
When did you look at that picture?
yesterday.
What was the date of that picture when that picture was taken?
The picture was dated.
Relevance.
What was the date of the picture?
403.
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Was it in
I've already
2019?
overruled it twice now.
2018.
No, your incident was in 2018.
Overruled.
Your incident was in 2018. The
Your
picture.
Honor, and I apologize, I know this had nothing to do with Mr. Williams.
Then please,
No.
please, sir.
District Attorney testified, I object.
Basis.
Object, he gave his answer, District Attorney said no, and she's telling the answer that she wants. This witness
all right.
has to testify from his own knowledge.
I sustain this to form. Okay, I got it. I sustain this to form. All right.
When was your incident?
My incident was in 2018.
Did you show us today a picture that you used to refresh your memory?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the date of the picture? What year was that picture taken?
Again, Your Honor, that is improper, Your Honor.
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Just what was the date? I'm sorry.
I'll sustain that.
I didn't hear what you said.
Mr. Schardt said foundation. I sustain that. So Madam, lay some foundation.
Yesterday, what did you do in order to refresh your memory as to the person that you arrested?
Pull a picture from his
Did you pull a picture?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the picture that you pulled, did it have a date in which that picture was taken?
I'd have to go back and verify the date the picture was taken.
Okay. Do you recall that being, if you can remember? Was there a date at the bottom of that picture?
To my knowledge, yes.
Do you have a copy of the picture that you provided to us today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're looking at a copy of refresher as to the date of when that picture was taken.
What are you showing them? What are you marking it as?
1024.
Hold on. What's the number of the document? Hold on, Mr. Matthews.
It's going to be 168M, Your Honor.
All right, come on up now. All right, start right here. Thanks.
I can't hear.
will rule the objection.
Did you provide us with a picture to show us who you were, the person who you arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna show you to refresh your memory, State's Exhibit, for only purpose of refreshing your memory, State's Exhibit 168M. Is that the picture you provided?
Yes, ma'am.
And did that refresh your memory as to who you arrested on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm now gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 169M. Looking at State's Exhibit 169, do you recognize State's Exhibit 169?
No,
You do not.
no.
Looking at what you use to refresh your memory as to 168M and looking at Exhibit 169M. If it does it or does it not?
It doesn't.
It does not?
No.
Okay, but 168M is what you produced,
Yes,
showing
ma'am.
us as a person.
I sustain it.
So was 168M what you, was that the picture you gave us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and was that Marquavius Huey?
Yes, ma'am.
Basis.
Who was the 168?
I sustain the objection as the last question, Mr. Matthews. All right, go ahead, madam.
Who is the person in 168 now?
Marcus, Huey.
Marquavius Huey.
Marquavius Huey.
All right.
Anything else?
Of course, it goes for one moment. And what was Marquavius Huey's date of birth? Objection.
That's been asked and answered already. Miss Hill.
Are you a gang investigator?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you responsible for taking out any type of gang warrant?
No, ma'am.
All right, court to go. And my last question, in State's Exhibit 168N, was that a fair and accurate depiction of the person you arrested on May 25th, 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have no further questions.
Anything further?
Yes, sir. Just for, Officer Henry, you testified, government just asked you questions about why you were brought here to testify. You answered that you were brought here to testify about a theft by receiving of a handgun case, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
You were not brought here to testify about an aggravated assault, triple shooting, were you?
No.
And
Sustain the question.
And so if you were brought here to testify about a theft by receiving, you didn't make a 911 call indicating that you arrested Mr. Huey for theft by receiving, correct?
If I didn't make a 911, no.
You didn't call 911?
No.
Right, and you didn't call 911 and 2 or 3 different people saying that it was theft by receiving, did you?
No.
Okay. And you didn't need a 911 call in order to investigate your theft by receiving case, correct?
The actual call come up as a 911 call.
You did not need to make a 911 call to
No.
handle your theft by receiving case, right?
Yes, because a 911 call Winder PD once ACIC confirmed that's the gun.
So you made a 911 call?
Or it's not really a 911 call.
You didn't make any 911?
No, I didn't.
You didn't need to make one regarding that very shooting case?
I did not.
Let him finish, okay?
I apologize, Judge. A lot of people took off running when they heard gunshots, right?
Some people do, some people don't.
Really common though, most people do though, correct?
In my opinion, some people do, some people don't.
People gonna do one or two things, they're either gonna run, or they're gonna hit him, right?
I don't know what they're gonna do. I know what I'll do.
You're a police officer, so you might do something different, correct?
At the time, I don't know.
Okay. You didn't note anywhere in your police report about a weapon cooling down or having time to cool down?
Asked and answered.
I don't think I asked that question.
Asked and answered. Let's move on.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Anything else? All right.
Good morning, sir, or afternoon, sir. Thank you for what you do.
Good afternoon. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Can I ask you, do you have those photographs? I think it's 168, 169, or 167 in front of you.
No, I don't.
You know, Madam Court Reporter, can I get those?
It's 168M and 169M.
May I approach you, sir?
Here, man.
May I approach you, sir?
I'm showing you what's already been identified as 168, and it looks like an M and 169M, if you don't mind.
The first one is 168 that I left on top. Is that right?
Which
Yes,
one?
sir.
M? 168M? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Where did you get that photograph?
Where did I get it?
Yeah, if you don't mind telling the ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
I get it from my department system.
And who told you to get that photograph, if you don't mind?
Who told me?
Yeah, who asked you?
No one asked me to. I could get to get the photograph. I get it from my personnel from for the case. Refresh my memory.
Did you were you sent that photograph earlier by anybody, or did you do this all on your own?
It's just sent. What I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Were you advised to look at that photograph specifically, or did you do it on your own?
Oh, I do it on my own.
Okay. 169M is the other photograph.
Yes.
You don't recognize that today?
No, I don't.
How did you go about pulling that photograph of 168M off your system?
How do I go about it?
How did you do it in this case? Somebody had to prompt you, or you had to prompt yourself? What did you do to pull that photograph? What made you pull a photograph?
I could pull a criminal history on any individual once I have
Mr. Steele and Ms. Hilton.
the charges on the individual.
Hold, one more second. Just hold on. Come on up here, please.
Have you, we're gonna come back to those photographs later, it sounds like. Can you do me a favor? You were talking about, you asked about taking out warrants, arresting people for criminal street gang activity. Do you remember those kind of conversations?
I never have those conversations.
No, today. You remember that discussion?
Say, I take out warrants. Ask the question again one more time.
Have you ever do you remember speaking about ever arresting someone for criminal street gang
Yeah,
activity?
the question was stated to me. If I have an answer was no.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further?
No.
Okay, all right. May we excuse Officer Henry permanently or temporarily as a witness?
Permanently. Yes, permanently.
Okay. All right, Officer Henry, thank you for your patience with him. I'm going to permanently excuse you as a witness. You're free to go about your usual duties and avocation. Just don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir.
Take this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, consistent, wait, one, it's the lunchtime hour, okay? And then. All right, consistent with my conversations with you all yesterday as a collective group, we're going to recess for today, and we're going to come back tomorrow for 12:30. And at that time, we're going to reconvene the case, and we'll probably work until about 4:30 or 5 o'clock tomorrow, okay? But so tomorrow morning, you do not need to report. I'd like you to report for 12:30 for an anticipated 9 o'clock start time, all right? Okay, let's go ahead and recap our daily ad nauseum admonitions, all right? So we're going to talk about the case when we're going back out there? In your headquarters, the jury liberation room? Okay, how about when we're going to the shuttle or when you're being taken to wherever it is that you're being dropped off from? Yeah. All right, we're going to talk to our loved ones at home tonight? Yeah. How about we go into any third-party sources, news outlets, or any other social media? Yeah. We going to let anybody talk to us about this case in our presence or hearing? No. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for your patience and everything that you your willingness to listen and to this particular matter and give it your patience and attention. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any inquiry with me this one time?
No.
Oh, we have somebody.
Just around the holidays, we talked about the 2-week period. And I think you've already gone over this, but I just want to clarify. Are we expected to work during that time, expected to not work?
Okay. I'll try and make it as clear as mud. Well, you are an impaneled jury at this point in time. I'm just giving you some downtime, but you are theoretically subject to being called back. So I'll let you deal with that as you see fit. But you're still on this jury, and have your number one obligation is to the parties and to the court. So I haven't released you from the service, so you're still here. So whatever you decide to do is yours, but you're still within the breast of jury service. Okay?
Thank you. Is there any way through the media or otherwise that
through the who?
Through the media or any other way that our employers know of that administrative time for 2 weeks?
No, everybody knows about your business at this point in time. No, sorry, but when you have a full and public sphere and arena, there are going to be, everybody kind of listens to the matter. You all can't, of course, consistent with the court's earlier directives. But my suggestion is, if you have any difficulty, let me know, and we'll go ahead and I'll make a call to your employer and just tell them that you're still on jury service. Because if they say, well, you're not working this day, come to work. Well, no, you really don't have to come to work because I haven't released you from jury service. I've given you this time because you know, it's the holidays and because we have other business that needs to be taken up. So theoretically, you're still on jury service, all right?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, anybody else? But if you have any problems, please let me know, okay? All right, we'll make a phone call for you. Anybody else? Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. Leave your notepads in your headquarters as you depart. Take a juror's ticket for tomorrow. And unless you have any further inquiry of me, 12:30 arrival tomorrow for a 1 o'clock start time. I wish you a good afternoon, okay? All right, be well. All rise. Are we okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, our jury has left us. Please be seated. Okay, counsels, consistent with the court's earlier directives, before you leave, please police up your listening devices so I can go ahead and charge them. If you'll hand them to Mr. Kern so I can go ahead and put them back in the chargers. Tomorrow, 12:30, for an anticipated 1 o'clock start time. State, do you have your witnesses lined up for more?
We do.
Have you disclosed those witnesses to the defense?
We disclosed the list of witnesses, we didn't disclose the order because of the short time.
I believe one of these mornings, maybe yesterday morning or the morning before, we did lay out who was coming up, but we can resend that email out.
Okay, I know you sent an email consistent with everybody, but can you tell the court who you're calling tomorrow?
No, we thought we did more specific list, but yes, we are calling Officer Collins.
So you're listening, Mr. Schardt?
I am.
Okay, because I don't want you, the first thing you say, to repeat it all over again. I only have a limited amount of time, I gotta go, all right? So, Officer
Collins.
Mary Clear, how do you spell her last name?
CLEAR, but I believe she may have a new name, maybe Karpf, KARPF.
What does she do?
She's with the GBI.
Okay, all right.
And that's going to be for Act 48 through 50, I believe. It's Trontavious Stevens, July 3rd, 2015 stop.
Okay.
And then we'll have Douglas Evans, who tested the marijuana in the cases that have previously went this week.
Okay.
Then we have Officer Fikes with the Brookhaven Police Department.
All right.
And then last, if we get there, will be the witnesses related to the July 2015 terroristic threats involving Mr. Williams.
Okay. All right.
And those are all laid out in the email.
And that's laid out. Questions others for one moment. And if that doesn't take us to 5 o'clock, then we do have some more, but they're all contained within that list. But we think that that's going to get us to 5 o'clock tomorrow.
All right. I think you'll have plenty. All right. Okay. Anything else, folks?
Can we ask about next week?
No, not for tomorrow. We'll cover that tomorrow, Mr. Mr. Steele, we'll cover that tomorrow. All right.
Collins and Evans would act.
She just said that.
I heard her say 48 through 50 was very clear.
They're both Collins and Claire on the same case.
All right. All right, folks, anything? We'll cover it next week tomorrow. All right, the plan for next week. So if the state can please be prepared to cover what you anticipate at least a couple days in advance, so we can go ahead and do that, that would be fine. Okay, all right. Okay, folks, see you tomorrow at 12:30 for a 1 o'clock start time. All right, be well. We're in recess. All right.